Another great thing about INDISC is we had a wonderful youth tournament. There were several people that are playing, and these are the future players of pinball. Who knows? Maybe even a world champion. Maybe even like this guy right here. Liam Bradley was the winner of the youth tournament. He won this lovely Translite. What else did you win?
Challenge token thing.
A big challenge token. So you're from North Carolina. A lot of great pinball players there. How long have you been playing, Liam?
5 to 3 years. I don't really know.
Yeah. And what about competitive pinball? Because this is a really big tournament. How long have you been doing that?
Competitively, we've been playing for around a year.
That's pretty impressive. And yeah, he not only won the youth tournament, but yesterday in the Classics playoffs, there were 190 plus players and only 32 made the playoffs. This kid right here was blowing it up. I saw you play and you were awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I got 19th.
19th. So you were better. You were in the top 10%. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Like, you see all these great players around here. What is it you like about pinball and competitions?
About competitions, I like that I get to know a lot of people better, and I get to know more newer and older games that I haven't heard about.
Well, that was what was neat, because I see a lot of the younger players like yourself into the newer games, but you were doing so well in the classic games, so it doesn't matter whether it's old or new, you like them all?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at classics, but I also feel good on the newer games because they've got the ramps and are flowy.
All right, what's your favorite game ever?
It's either Godzilla or Joker Poker.
Joker Poker, that's a fun one. You know the guy who made Godzilla is here. Have you met him yet?
Maybe.
I'm going to get you to meet Keith Elwin. He is not only one of the greatest players ever, one of the greatest designers. He's here. We'll get a picture of you and Keith, because that's pretty impressive. And your brother Miles was playing too.
Yeah.
Is he a good player?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
You're a good kid. Good as far as pinball players, and you're a very nice young man as well, you and your family. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When we talk about people come from all over the world, here's a good example. From Belgium, Carl Bierkens. How you doing, Carl?
I'm doing so great. This is one of the best moments in my life.
That's very nice. You get a lot of great, wonderful people in Belgium. I think, is Timber one of the...
Yes, Timber is the #1 player in Belgium, yes.
I played him at the UK Open. He's spectacular. So you've got a lot of pinball there. What does this like compared to back home?
The setting here is, for me, is ideal for me. Because you have all the screens next to the machines where you can follow the action of the other players. Then you have it's very spacious, it's open, it's very light, so you can see all the things that you have to do on the game, on the play field. So that's very important for me. The way you queue is also very important to me, because if you play in a smaller venue and the people are breathing in your neck, I don't mind, but this is, I think, more relaxing.
For sure. Carl, thank you very much for coming. I hope you have safe travels. I know you're enjoying your time here, but would you recommend people from Europe and other places coming to INDISC?
Definitely, and I'm sure my friends in Belgium, because we have a lot of players there, good players, they are really, really, really eager to come here.
Thanks very much, Carl.
You're welcome. Bye, Jeff.
This is Brian O'Neill. He's with Scorbit, and Scorbit's been powering INDISC for many years, and big news for Scorbit for everyone in the world, because Scorbit is available on more titles.
Yeah, so right now we're on over 430 titles, and we're pleased to announce that we're working with American Pinball. Right now it's working on Hot Wheels and soon Legends of Valhalla, and then working on some of the other games.
Very exciting too. You connect people all over the world, and a free app as well. And some big things maybe this week.
Yeah, so it's great to be here at INDISC and work on, we're on almost all of the open games here, including Spike 2. And it integrates directly into the Scorekeepers app, and so it makes things a lot faster and easier for people at the tournament here.
Brian, to you, to Jay, and everybody at Scorbit, thank you for what you do. Check out scorbit.io and check out that free app. Thanks for powering INDISC.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, we're back. We've got Tracy joining us. I'm Dave Stewart from Seattle. Introduce yourself.
Tracy Lindbergh from Phoenix, Arizona, and I run the Bells and Chimes there. Mute. Oh, there, I'm back. I'm Tim Sexton, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I work at Stern Pinball, representing the company as well as my projections website, trying to give some more narrative to this broadcast. Who's got a chance to win here? And things are very interesting. Oh, we're starting the next round already with Keith Elwin, but we just lost Jason Zoller last round, one of the favorites to win. So, not to, just full disclosure, Keith is my coworker at Stern, and, I am friends with him, of course, and we work together, and I will try to be as objective as possible in the booth. I will not try to root openly for players and just talk about Keith's impressive resume. Tracy, you know much about Keith? Have you ever seen this guy play pinball before?
More than once, yes.
What have you learned from watching Keith? Has anything stuck out to you?
All the top players I watch a lot of pinball videos and a lot of streams because I feel like my flipper skills get better watching their flipper skills. Like really getting control and catching the ball and.
Like what about that? Just like letting it bounce from the very end of the flipper? I mean, I don't know how he trusts stuff like that to happen.
I may not have quite as much guts as he has.
So Keith has not played yet because he had a double bye. All the players are now in the tournament, and this is his very first ball. But pretty good. He got all his lights completed, so he's ready for multi-ball in ball 2.
So, what is your strategy on this game? It's you think like I play Getaway a lot. I don't play this high speed much, and it seems like you don't have the same modes. You don't have similar layout, but not at all the same strategy or rules.
I played this one a lot in qualifying, and what I really liked about this game was I was very consistent with the upper flipper to the ramp. And when I have a feed like that, I may want to just post pass over to the right flipper and then shoot the left orbit and shoot the ramp over and over again because it progresses you to multi-ball and gives you 50,000 points per ramp, plus another about 25,000 just for the spinner, and it can be even more when your orbits are lit.
Now, you said you post pass. What about from the left flipper shooting the spinner, the scoop, which feeds the upper flipper?
I just was way more comfortable with the right flipper on this game. Oh, Jim's out right away. Another thing, though, that's really important is your kickback. Super important, especially when it's lit on a number 4 like that, on a top 1 or a number 3 like Andre has here. If his kickback on the left is not lit, just hitting that one lit target is all you need.
Yeah, the ball does go down there often. I believe once your in lanes are lit, you can also relight the kickback through the in lanes. But that takes a couple of freeways or something to get there. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Tracy, did you play this game at all?
I did not play it in qualifying, and I was just noticing how active those slings were. The attempt at a catch coming down from the right was dangerous and led to the use of his kickback and the drain.
That is one tournament trick, which not all tournament directors are always looking for ways to make games more challenging. Making your slings sensitive. You can adjust them so that they are as sensitive as possible. That does increase the difficulty of the games. And here we have the best players in the world, so they're doing what they can, to truly make the games play as hard as they could.
Andre takes a tilt warning there already. Just trying to get it under control, and he didn't have the shots. He was very close, but didn't really get the orbits he wanted.
This game did seem to be set up a little bit more sensitive than some others on the bank.
So Travis Murray comes as kind of the rookie of this group. I mean, he's been playing pinball for a long time, but he has veterans of competitive pinball, 10-year veterans, all in his group, and he's only been playing competitively for a few years.
Although, interestingly, if I'm just looking at their IFPA rank, he's the highest ranked player in this group.
It's true. He spent a lot of time up at the farm at District 82 grabbing his Whopper haul.
Wow, we're getting some great data handed off to us. 9 current or former world champions remain in this tournament. 2 in each of the other groups, and 3 in this one.
Wow.
And that's more than half because there's only 16 players left in this tournament.
This is an impressive field of players.
And Travis did not get much started on that ball. So Keith, coming in cold, is in a commanding lead here, and he got his multi-ball already. So this is where, you know, game one, he's picking a game he's comfortable with. He played it in qualifying, and he's showing, you know, from the driver's seat of game choice, exactly what you need to do, which is put the pressure on, because you're going to be player one.
So in multi-ball, I believe you're going for the ramp. Is that it?
Right, a 750,000 hideout jackpot, and it will keep the ball parked in there for a while if you get it. So he shoots the saucer, and there it is. Yep.
Okay, so now what?
Now you just kind of have fun. You shoot your orbits. You can shoot the ramp again for a little extra bonus.
Can you get freeways while you're in multi-ball?
Yes, I believe you can. You can also hit your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets for some points.
Does
Once they're
anyone
lit.
other than slingshots aim for those targets?
I think Keith might, because he just used his kickback. Could be wrong. No, just going for the orbits. Oh, that ball will escape the hideout now. And he has to do the same thing all over again, which is either hit his targets or shoot the side ramp to advance
And
each
he relayed his
life.
kickback in time to use it immediately. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, so certainly accuracy on that ramp shot goes a long way in this game.
Wow, he's just shooting the in-lanes to relight his kickback there.
That was impressive. Alley passes are not something I have been able to execute consistently yet. But you had asked about learning stuff. That's definitely one of those things that's on my list to learn after watching these top players play.
And even like the top of the top players, I know I see Raymond Davidson do it more than anyone, who I believe is another one of your colleagues now,
Yes.
Tim, does them on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, you know, definitely, you know, watching these videos, if you're looking for how you can improve your game, look for what they do that you don't, and that's what you want to practice on.
And at this level, that was a little odd that it came off the in-lane guide there. Just went
He
to the
looked
middle.
surprised as well.
But at this level, each of the players still have, you know, their own styles, and they do different things to achieve the same results. They get more comfortable in different ways. Wow, Jim, a limber man, doing a little bit of stretching before his ball. Jim's style, he will always flip the flippers before his ball. He loves the dead bounce, like just letting the ball bounce off one flipper to another. Jim is probably the master of the dead bounce.
Where does that swing again?
There it is, see? Just those really short ones where he does a little up nudge with them, that's how he gets the ball under control, more than most other players I've seen. Players are struggling, and Dave, I was talking about how I didn't really go for the right orbit much. That feed isn't really coming around to the left orbit, so it's getting stuck in the pop bumpers when players shoot it.
Right. Well, when I was asking for the ramp, I wasn't saying the right orbit.
Oh, right,
I was
you're talking
saying
about
the saucer, which feeds the upper flipper, as opposed to taking the risk on the post pass, and then that left shot, if you miss it, is pretty dangerous because you catch the corner. If you don't hit around the left, and it's flying towards one of the out lanes.
Right. So I think looking at this game, you're right. On the left flipper, shooting that hole is a much safer option than shooting the right orbit because the ball is just getting stuck in the pops, and we've seen several players just drain from the left side of the pop straight down the middle.
Yeah, I have also seen, not here today, but I've seen this game played by someone who can shats freeways all day.
Mm-hmm.
You shats from right to left, never left to right, because if it goes up and over, you've got your kickback. And
Right.
but even if you use up your kickback, the next shots will relight it for you.
I'm a fan of the freeways because I played one locally where you couldn't hit the ramp. And so the freeways were everything.
That feed
was
is
the
death.
strategy.
And it's coming off that same top pop bumper into those targets and straight down the middle. There's nothing you can do. There's no nudging unless you get it out of that pop bumper area. But that's extreme danger up there. Travis has a good chance here, even with a poor ball one, to put some points on the board. And he shot the slingshot there. And he looks like he's going for the strategy David just mentioned of shooting the in lanes, but didn't work out for him. Now Keith is the winningest player of all time. We have 9 major champions, but no one's won more than Keith Elwin.
And I think second is like many wins behind that, which would be Jordan, I believe.
And Keith has been a little less active in the competitive scene compared to years in the past. He's been working very hard designing pinball machines lately, but he really came focused to this tournament. He just won Classics 2 last night, took one of the top 4 seeds for a double bye. And he's looking at us. He's looking for Jim. Or maybe Carl doesn't have his headphones on. I don't know what he's looking for. Thought he was looking for maybe some assistance or something broken he noticed. But no, play on, I guess. Left orbit, and just didn't quite get up the ramp. Left orbit again. We'll go to the ramp again.
But one of the things that they end up making it look so easy is just like every shot he takes to that left orbit just goes up the left orbit. The difference between every other player, including myself, is that I might be decent. 2 out of 3 will go there. The problem is that third one that doesn't, I'm fighting for my life, whereas he's got more points, another 100,000. And just being able to like slightly increase your accuracy in aim can go a long way to increasing your scores. And that's one of the things that we see actually with all the top players, but especially Keith as he's showing it. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see Zach on the stream at some point. Zach McCarthy. Same thing. Their accuracy is just incredible. Zach McCarthy being last year's champion of this tournament, and he was the first seed this year.
So Keith has another 3x bonus and 43. So this puts him 2.76 million. That would have been about a top 30 score in qualifying.
Well, right now it's really anybody's game for second place, and probably thinking get some distance first. Remember, top 2 in each group move on, so you don't have to win to come out of this with a good challenge. If you can at least pull away from the crowd, try to guarantee yourself second place, and if you are having a good ball, then maybe that 2.7 becomes in the distance. But right now, it's like, just where are your points? It's probably try and get into multi-ball once, get 1 jackpot.
Right. So Jim's got his yellow lights completed now.
Yeah, and every time you hit the ramp, it also spots one of the lights for you. You don't have to actually hit all those stand-ups for you.
He went for the right orbit. Oh, he survives it. No, oh, what a tilt warning.
Will anything else spot you lights or just the ramp? I mean,
just
obviously
hitting them in the ramp, yeah. Oh, a second tilt warning.
Yeah, and if you're not sure, if you see the red, yellow, green lights, there's 3 banks. You have to get the green ones first, then the yellow ones, then the 3 red ones. And while you can hit them directly, actually that looked like the ramp spotted 2, not just 1.
He may have ricocheted off the target. Maybe not.
That looked like and that might explain why they're getting the multi-ball quick. And it could be also like first multi-ball versus second. But yeah, it looked like it's spot 2. But that's the idea, is by hitting the ramp, you avoid having to hit those death targets.
Oh, that would tee it up for him.
So he really needs up the ramp to start that multi-ball.
Got some good recovery each time it comes back down.
And he's been playing without his left kickbacklet.
But the
And
ball's-
with these slingshots, it could be really scary.
if the ball doesn't go there, then it doesn't matter, right?
Right. And good thing he lit it because he needed it right away. Lits it. Oh! He lit it again with the in lane, but drains off the end of the flipper down the middle. And it's always painful when it hits the end of the flipper and goes down the middle because it's like, you know, we had those 2 tilt warnings. Did he have enough left in the tilt bob to save it? He'll have to wonder about it forever. But 800,000 was a good ball for him. He doubled his score from the first 2 balls.
Yeah, and he basically had a similar game to Keith, except he had trouble hitting that ramp one more time.
Right.
And that makes that much difference. Andre, who's an incredible come-from-behind player, having experienced him coming from behind, you know, the most recent, I was at a tournament recently at Lynn's Arcade, and he came back almost something like 2 billion on Dracula on a compensation ball.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of like there was something similar in one of the European tournaments where I think it was maybe Jurien who came back.
It was Johannes.
Johannes, that's it.
On Daniele.
Yeah,
At
so
the IFPA championship.
yeah,
Dracula.
so he's capable of doing the same thing. And now let's see.
He's having some fantastic saves. The ball is trying to leave the playfield.
Okay, so every player that's been missing the ramp is usually missing early. And this ball is really whipping around the orbit fast. Oh, not there, but oh man.
Isn't it funny how when the shot is lit for big points, that it's twice as hard to hit? It like gets smaller.
I liked Andre's, he yelled with glee there. Did you hear that?
Now he's in good shape to pass ahead of Jim.
He looks like he's really psyching himself up for this tournament in general.
Yeah. He has a whole pre-launch routine of like testing out testing out each flipper. You know, kind of lining up the aim.
There's
it
a
is.
jackpot. Nice.
Oh.
It's okay. You just got to get back to the
Yep.
next multi-ball like Keith was doing.
He got the big points he needed on that one. He just didn't get to play with some safety of having a ball to play with while the other ball was being held.
So he knows he has at least a point, and it's your first, well, it's not his first game. It's your first game of the round, and you just want any points. You don't want to start with a 0. So Travis was really on ball 2 going for shooting the in lane as his strategy. And with this hole, that in point season, I'm going to see if you think, what do you think, Tracy? You think he'll change it up? He'll go for the ramp like everyone else?
I think he should. Wait, but the inlanes, what are the inlanes doing for you?
Lighting freeway.
Lighting
like that.
freeway. It's just being so drainy at the bottom.
So, yeah, he did switch to go for the ramp at that point. And I think getting that one ramp shot's going to give him more confidence to do that, but
And
didn't have time to
he kind of went for a live catch, but he just did not commit to it. He went way early, and the ball just kind of bounced off and right down the middle. So that's the end of that group for round 1. Let's see how else we're going. So every other group still playing. Zach McCarthy's group is playing Tron. Eric Stone's group is on Deadpool, and it looks like Jason Zoller is currently playing there. And Escher Lefkoff's group, he picked Revenge from Mars, which Escher was trying to convince me to play. He's an expert at Revenge from Mars. They've had one for many years that he was playing since he was on a step stool. And he knows every in and out of that game. And everyone's still...
So I'm guessing he did not convince you.
Locked in. He did not convince me, no. But I also didn't qualify, so maybe I should have listened.
Well,
he is #1 in the world, after all.
I did play it, not because I planned on playing it. It wasn't one of my favorite games. But on a dead ticket, basically I didn't like voiding tickets because you're paying like $4 a game. You might as well get it worth. But I would pick the short line. Anytime I had a ticket, I knew like even if I got #1 score, I still wouldn't be a good enough ticket. I will use those to practice the machines that I'm avoiding because one, you never know if you do qualify, if you'll play them, but sometimes you find a surprise machine. And I did that with Revenge from Mars. I went and I played, it's like, oh, lousy game, just 100 million. Because I know I've seen that, and I've seen like 400 or 500 million scores. And it turned out it was like number 10 score at the time. It's like, oh, wait, maybe I should play this. The scores are not that high on it. The key difference compared to location play is it had lightning flippers. But other than that, it was playing reasonably well. And so I ended up having it as one of the games on my ticket where I qualified.
I played it in qualifying, but it did not go well for me.
I just found a bug in my code. I accidentally had Jason Zoller getting eliminated in round 1. He did not get eliminated round 1. He's one of the favorites of this tournament. He's currently playing on Deadpool in Eric Stone's group. And some B Division games are going on here as well. We've got, where's the rig headed?
Nowhere yet, I think.
Carl's grabbing it. And he's moving. Oh, it's going to come into frame.
Yeah.
There it is. The rig. This way. Yeah, it's going. Bye-bye. He's lined up on Revenge from Mars. Ooh. One of the most difficult games to put on a camera rig because it has an entire CRT monitor in the back box that reflects down onto the playfield to create a Pepper's Ghost effect. What do you think about the Pinball 2000 technology of Revenge from Mars, Tracy? Are you a pinball purist, or does it have its place? What do you think?
I think it has its place, but it's not. It's not my favorite. I've played 2 of them. There's 3, right? Is there 3?
There's 2.
2. The Star Trek one or Star Wars?
Star Wars. Yeah. Okay,
and
so I've played them both.
Mars.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite. It made the playfield a lot tighter because there's not as much space to work with. But I definitely think they have their place. They can be fun.
Yeah, there's very funny animations. I think if you're playing it just for, the novelty of, hey, this is pretty cool, high tech, right? It's a funny game. It's got a lot of humor. Star Wars Episode 1's kind of the same way. You kind of bash the Jedi Council around and stuff. It's got some odd modes in there.
The question is, nowadays, since you don't need CRT monitors, can you do an LED display and have something similar? And I know there's one company that's making like kind of LEDs in the playfield.
I thought you were setting me up for something, Dave.
Well, no, I could be. It's like, you could potentially have LEDs that you're smashing the screen and, doing different effects as you hit it.
I thought you were mentioning the cool Mandalorian pinball topper we just put out that has a reflected holographic cockpit view on the topper. At Stern Pinball's store, sternpinball.com, if you want to check it out. I know I'm just plugging stuff. It's Carl's stream. IE Pinball, we're here at the Open. Let's talk about what we're really here.
As long as it's Stern the sponsor? Because
Stern is a sponsor. It is the Stern Pro Circuit event. The trophy, beautiful trophy, is right here.
And there's also top prize, includes
brand new Stern pinball machine.
What is it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is that one you've worked on or no?
I have not worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a fun
specific,
game, though.
not a choice.
I'm learning this today, just now, coming over the intercom. But yeah, that's a great game. We're waiting on. Looks like we're waiting on Kaylee George playing Revenge from Mars. Kaylee, you can see Carl behind us, but behind him, Kaylee's wearing his UNSC hoodie. That's because he is a developer at 343 Studios, which has done the new Halo Infinite video game, and he is the lead multiplayer level designer there. So he brings his pinball experience into gaming, and maybe some of his gaming experience into pinball, but it's a lot of game development related people here at this tournament with the skills, of course, in all aspects of Divine. We just saw Keith Elwin, Kaylee, also a game developer. So Bowen's in the finals. He's working at P3 developing games. We just mentioned Raymond, #2 in the world. Escher, he's done some work for us. So it's a lot of the top talent here in the competitive side.
Raymond did not make it. I have not seen him.
No, I'm not sure what happened, but we're moving on to Revenge from Mars.
It has been a good thing for pinball that pinball players who love the game have been designing, because we're getting creative new things and
I think
some great
pinball
rules.
players have always been designing. The difference is it's competitive players. So we are seeing, hey, how do you make things even more interesting for competition? How do you make that, especially now that they're streaming and people can watch it, it's becoming a spectator sport. How can you start making things in such a way that people really want to see what's going on, and encourage them, want to play it. And a lot of these have such long stories that you won't necessarily see during a competition unless it's a pinball expo and they leave it on factory settings. But otherwise, in competition, it's like there might be some specific strategies you go after, but there's so much depth ending up in these machines that, the streaming, the video, now that everyone can stream, people stream tutorials, they stream gameplays, and it's like, wow, the amount of different things that go into one of these machines these days.
It's a nice new era.
Yeah, and we see about 40 years of pinball history represented here in the Open, but last night and the night before we were showing classics games that go all the way back to the late 60s at the earliest on some of them, and it's just pinball has got its ups and downs, and now things are doing well. I think everyone's pretty happy with the state of the tournaments. This is amazing production. This is an amazing competition. Giant projector screen behind us, huge bank of games, hundreds of players here. It all feels really great right now, I think, to be involved in pinball.
Yeah, I know. I've personally been playing since I was 2 years old. So people ask, how long have you been playing? So it's like, usually I can tell, and they say, well, probably longer than you've been born for many people. Curiosity. So, and the way I started was my dad used to hang out at bowling alleys, and turns out that the pinball machine was a great babysitter. And it's cheaper, a few nickels here and there, than cheaper than the babysitter. So apparently and I don't remember this at all, but I was told I'm just plopped at a machine for time. Just curious, Tracy, what got you started?
I think I was 15 or 16. We're coming back. We'll save that for the next moment.
Okay, we've got some creative camera work. It fell.
Except there's one score we can't see, so that will be mystery score. Player 4 will have mystery score.
So Escher has 259 million, which is, I think, ahead of the #1 score in qualifying all weekend already. Jared here is one shot away from starting his multi-ball. She shoots by shooting the green flashing circles.
Any
tell
way to
what
tell
ball
what
we're on.
Yeah, that was a question I was about to ask too. So
here we go.
So this game, it's got some similarities to Attack from Mars. You just started multi-ball. That was, you basically shoot that, right now what's the middle arrow. That shot is going to be your light lock and lock ball shot. And he shot it 6 times to get to this multi-ball.
So I think it's interesting that Escher picked this game. I think this game was probably one where the top players were some of the least comfortable, because it had a very tight tilt. It's a very heavy machine. It's very difficult to get control of the ball.
All 3 of his balls drained while ball save was on, but I think he only got 2 back.
Yep, and he's out of multi-ball now. And it did not really give him a lot of points because he only has 24 million.
Well, he didn't really hit any jackpots. He had to destroy 10 ships. He still had 9 left, so he basically got one shot in.
And now he's got a lot of work. He's got 6 shots to get back to that multi-ball.
6 shots, but they're fairly safe if he makes a shot, because the light lock is going to come back down the left orbit, which you can live catch, and the lock is going to feed. When you do lock the ball, it's going to feed the right flipper.
Looks like he may have pivoted over to shooting mode shots now.
3 modes will give another multi-ball, right?
Right.
Yes.
And that's multi-ball that could be more valuable than your main multi-ball.
But he still only looks like he's on his first mode.
So there's this big middle zone in all these Pinball 2000 games with this effect on the display, on the playfield. And eventually a ramp pops up that lets you shoot into a little trough in the back, and that ends the mode there. So he's got 2 more modes to get to his bonus wave, which is where Escher most likely got to get 259 million points.
You have 2 options when you start Revenge from Mars, 2 sets of 3 modes. Have you found that one is better than the other?
So I'm not an expert on this game. The advice I got from Escher Lefkoff was start with the middle one on the left, and then use your ball save time to complete it. Then shoot the Lincoln one with his 4 shots to the right orbit, and then time out the last one and get to the bonus wave. And he said that's the way to do it, and everyone else starts on the right, and they're giving up that opportunity by playing on the right side. Now, trying to quickly summarize, it's a little difficult to explain this game because it's so hard to see anything.
Well, this might be an improvement. Looks like Carl is trying to adjust the...
Okay, so this playfield he's trying to capture is actually, the zooming out helps a little bit. It's actually just hidden under a giant box, and it creates a shadow that reflects back to the players, and it's much easier for the players to see than a camera. You're seeing kind of like half of an alien in the middle of a bar there. But this is the one that Escher recommended starting with. And he says just use your ball save time to get it done.
Okay, we might be seeing history being made. First time streaming a Revenge from Mars. I don't know that I've ever seen one on stream before. Not saying it hasn't been, but I've not personally seen that.
Tim took 4 bounces there to get the ball under control. That was amazing. And he's got his mode done, which puts him at 41 million now.
So that's his first mode, 41 million. He probably has done a multi-ball because it clearly wasn't in modes that he got points.
And this is 4 shots to complete, 4 right orbits. So it looks like Tim knows the thing I was just mentioning that Escher told me, which mode to play first. And if you can get through this mode, you can time out the last mode to get to the bonus wave. Falls into the mystery saucer there.
So on these tournament settings, it looked like the mystery saucer was just alternating between 1 million and plus 5 bonus X.
So I actually saw it while Tim's trapped up here. I saw him at the airport. Hadn't met him before, but we chatted. He said his son is 10 years old, but has really started getting into pinball a lot more. And he's kind of gotten to the level where he can take him to leagues, and he's not bored. He's able to hang in by himself and play the games and stuff. So that's what's helped him get back into the competitive scene.
Actually, the same thing had happened to me. I had not played much pinball. It was when my daughter was 10 that I took her back to her first, I think it was Papa, not Pinburg yet. But yeah, it was at 10 because that's also the age where you can start leaving, not having to watch over them all the time. And yeah, more, guess who might, 3 years from now, 13, 14 is what we're seeing, like, Escher when he first got on the scene, and, what is it, Alvord?
Arvid.
Arvid.
He's 14 now.
He's 14. He's from Europe, isn't he?
Yeah,
Sweden.
Lund, Sweden.
So
It's
yeah.
right across the bridge from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Okay.
It's right on the little channel border between the two nations.
So yeah, it's like it's possible that within a couple years. So we're back here. That must have been the end of the game. We didn't know if it was ball 2 or ball 3. Ended fairly quickly there.
And Escher put in Dean Grover's initials, who was a beloved tournament player from Colorado, and he, passed away just a few weeks ago. He's a cancer survivor, and for 11 years he had known that, his body would never quite be the same, but he hung around. He was always the sweetest guy in the world. He was a contractor at Stern as well, did some code for us, worked on the games like the Beatles. He helped with Led Zeppelin. He did all sorts of pinball machines, and he was just always such a pleasant guy to be around, and we miss him a lot. But Dean had a great life and made a huge impact on the pinball scene and pinball community. He actually did software development on Congo when he worked at Williams in the late 90s, and then he took some time working at other jobs and came back to Stern in about 2016. Started working there. So he's had a career in pinball, career in the tournament scene, was always at Papa. Would have been at tournaments like this when he could, and it was just a great guy, so it's nice to see people put his initials in the game.
Yeah.
It's a nice tribute.
Thank you.
So let's get back to that
Oh,
last
the
question.
story,
What
yeah.
got you into pinball? Because
So I think I was a teenager, and there was a mini golf place that had about 25 machines. And my parents, we would go there and we'd play mini golf, and then everybody else my age was playing like the new games, the newfangled things. There were lots of lights and things like that, and I gravitated toward pinball. And they'd give me some tokens, and I would spend all my tokens on pinball and had a blast. And then I didn't see pinball for quite a few years. After I graduated high school, went to college, didn't really see pinball, didn't really think about it. But when I met my husband, he said, "Oh, I like pinball. Do you like pinball?" And I said, "Yeah, I love pinball." Because in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I gravitated toward that." And so we went out and started playing some pinball together, and just been playing pinball, me and my husband, ever since.
and what about your first tournament?
First tournament was ZapCon 2014. And I don't know how, because we went out to locations all the time. We'd go to Vegas once a year to play. Somehow did not know about competitive pinball until the end of 2013. And once we found out about it, we're like, we need a tournament. And there weren't very many in Arizona at the time. Now it is exploded. But so ZapCon 2014 was my first tournament, and I even made the B Division finals in my first tournament.
My first tournament, Papa 3, made the B Division final. Last time ever in B Division. But yeah, it literally changed my life, because before that, it's like pinball was a hobby. After that, meeting Steve Epstein, started the leagues in Pittsburgh, started the leagues in Maryland, and it's like, it was just that I became involved completely in the competitive community, and it's had that much of an effect. Tim, you're next on the next break to find out how you got started in this.
All right, and we are on Deadpool. This game has been really eating people up this weekend. Sometimes on Deadpool you see massive scores of a couple 100 million, but this game can really, right away, you're in danger.
Well, it's playing very fast. You can't blink. You miss a shot, you've got to be ready, because it's coming back to you really fast.
And the snicked target is disabled, right?
Right. So you can still hit it, get up the ramp, but you're not going to get any playfield multiplier advances from it. And it takes away one of your super skill shots, and it takes away a special Ninja Apocalypse rule, but that's all you lose from getting rid of it, and it's probably for tournaments a decent compromise, because just getting up there could totally change the game for just a little bit of.
Yeah, especially when most people get it up there through luck shots, not because they were actually intentionally going after it.
Now, I do think it's a great rule on location. It's a lot of fun to just have someone hit a shot up there and get a multiplier. I might say that because I came up with that rule, but George Gomez designed this game, and he also designed Revenge from Mars, so he's been designing games for a very long time. And he and Keith Elwin came up with the idea to have a target that could deflect the ball up a side ramp like that. It was a really cool shot.
I have a tendency to just go straight to a mode when I start this game and not attempt to get team-ups lit. Am I, like, how do you see people play it normally? Like, miss the beginning of the game here.
Yeah, I
for
see
these
people
players.
often go for either Juggernaut or Sabretooth right away, and then after that, they try to get their multi-ball going. Their little Deadpool multi-ball.
Right, but
But
not.
so not taking time to get a team-up lit.
Maybe for their second mode, but I think people just want to get some points right away when they usually play it.
Okay, so I'm not being losing my my edge by jumping right into a mode.
The only team up that really gives you extra points is Colossus, because it's the double scoring one.
Yeah, but well, the other ones seem they help you complete modes, especially like Mystique. I find that mode, if you have 2 or 3 team ups going, you can like complete the mode really quick. If you have no team ups, it seems to take forever for that mode to be completed. So
And they do all give you more points, but the Colossus is the double
Yeah.
points is really the big one. So Jason's out of his little Deadpool multi-ball. Just a few points. That can really be big if you get to the super jackpot rounds. Wow, 2 dangers there.
yeah, I saw on location someone get like, you know, all they did is they started that little Deadpool, came out with like 300 million bit, and I think that's what happened. It's like, you got that on that mode? Didn't know that was possible. Okay, so here's Mystique. Not sure if he has any team ups.
He has Wolverine going with, so the center shot will spot 2 shots.
Okay. And now if he completes this mode, he's got that Sauron multi-ball.
Right, which isn't a ton of points, but it's good to have another multi-ball to help you with your weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, the weapons, those are combos, correct?
Correct.
So, and the real key to combos are the awards you get, I think, at 50 or at 45. You have your mech suit multi-ball, which is one of the more valuable multi-balls. And I guess you could still get 2x playfield if you hit 100.
Right, 100 weapons, permanent 2x for the rest of the game.
Right, and
I see.
that's it's the same 2x you would have gone with the Snicket target. I'm sure that one was not disabled because that one's well earned if you get 100 weapons.
Right, there is no way to disable that.
So that's the end of the mode. And see, like final shot 10,000. I know I've tried playing some of these with all of the team ups going. I'd be able to get a final shot about 70 or 80 million if I had all the team ups going and I played a mode with it.
Yeah, the value
So
is
they are
based
worth
on,
more.
I could tell you, the value is based on how much time you have remaining in the mode, which is represented by Deadpool's health, as well as how many times you've attempted to play the mode, and it takes into account all team up multipliers. And all playfield multipliers, obviously. So he is in Sauron multi-ball. The goal here is to complete your shots and then shoot that turnaround shot, the Colossus shot, into the target for the super jackpot. There you
Like
got
that.
it. Wow. 17 million. That is, okay, usually people don't get to that super jackpot, but Jason making it look easy.
That's because a lot of people aren't going for it. They're just going for combos.
And Sauron multi-ball 70 million very quickly out of that.
That was great.
Tracy here in the booth reacted to
love
that
it.
save.
I
And
love it
all-
when I jump in my chair.
And all of a sudden, probably within the ball bonus, he's taken a point from player one, which was Eric. He's not there yet, but I think end of ball bonus probably gets him there as long as he doesn't tilt.
So interesting, my projections had Jason with the lowest chance out of everyone to move through. I think it's because he has the most likely date with these 3 very dangerous players here. Bowen Cairns, multiple-time world champion. Eric Stone, multiple-time world champion. And Jason Zoller, who has not won a world championship yet, but he is due for one, I would say, based on how he's been playing. And he also was our Classics 1 champion on Friday night. There's another good multi-ball to play. Disco multi-ball.
So I know this one was started with a lot of left orbits, correct?
Right, and you can't progress it when other features are running in the game.
What is your goal in this one? I don't usually shoot for disco.
Yeah, you're shooting the arrows, and there's like there's an alternating phase to it between the super being lit and it not being lit. So right now he's in the first phase of just taking out the jackpot shots, and then left orbit will become lit for his super, which is a value that's based on actually how many spins you hit. And he's only 1 weapon away from lighting mech suit coming out of this.
That is exciting.
I don't know if you know this, but then that means, should he be going for 1 more combo? Can you get combos in this mode?
Yes, because he just picks them up by hitting the scoop there. So it's really, it would be ready if he collects 1 more weapon.
So you should, if you were to shoot the scoop now, then he would be, as soon as he's done with this multi-ball, it would be lit.
You have to shoot the scoop after getting a combo. But, I mean, this multi-ball is still worth playing for jackpots as well.
Yeah.
He's getting about 4 million a jackpot. Now he has the scoop lit, so he'll have to collect his weapons, come out of it, and then collect 1 more time. And he's likely going to cancel this next mode by holding the top button down.
If he knows how.
Maybe he's not.
Because I would not have known about canceling the mode until I saw someone else do it. And even then, I tried once, and I'm not. So what are you doing, pressing and holding the button?
Right, it says it on the
It did,
display
yeah.
in that selection.
Okay.
But interestingly, he did go for his Wolverine mode.
This is the quickest.
Typically, you get a lot of progress by shooting the top lanes and pop bumpers.
No mech suit for this one.
So I think Jason made a strategy mistake there in not canceling the mode and going back for mech suit multi-ball because he hit the scoop again.
Did he know that mech suit multi-ball was lit, or might not he have been aware of that? Because sometimes you don't realize, sometimes you're very conscious, you're trying to count how many weapons, how close you are.
But if you're focused on the planned strategy,
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't realize that you were there.
So here's Jason Zoller, who is in a very comfortable position. He's got the lead by a lot over Bowen as player 4. And we will get a chance to see, as he starts shooting things, what he's done so far in the game. So he's likely played already 1 Ninja multi-ball, but he has at least a lock lit. He has completed Megalodon, Mystique, and Wolverine, so this is the last mode he needs to play before his Sauron multi-ball. So Jason's shooting right for the targets right now. He's really great on his wiggle saves and moving the game around to get control of the ball. So that's his first lock for Ninja Multi-Ball. He'll need to spell pool 2 more times to lay his other 2 locks.
So he's progressed a little bit through the game. I know the locks start off all 3 lit. After that, your second multi-ball, you have to spell pool once for each lock. Is that also the case for a third multi-ball? Is it always just 1 pool, or does it progressively get harder beyond that?
It may get harder. It may be you have to spell it and then lock it, and then you have to, you can't stack the locks up anymore.
Okay.
I don't know every rule of this game. I was not the lead developer. That'd be a guy named Tanyo Kleiss, great guy I work with. who did the software lead development of this game. And Jason goes into mech suit multi-ball. Oh no, sorry, Sauron multi-ball. My mistake.
Oh, you got a super skill shot.
Yeah.
His multi-ball. I didn't know you could do that during the multi-ball.
And Sauron shooting the arrow shots lights that really explosive super jackpot that Jason Werdrick collected.
That 13 million.
So now it's lit. So he hits that shot. Not always easy to get that shot to go around and hit that target.
Did he collect it there with the boom? Or not?
No, you can't collect. With the weapon, you cannot collect targets. So he's got his second lock lit on Ninja Multi-Ball. Okay, and 91 more disco spins, so he's already played a disco multi-ball as well. So other things Jason could go for besides Ninja multi-ball, he can spell Dead to relight his modes. He'll play his level 2 modes with the Sauron team up. He could shoot the right orbit to get his Chimichanga truck going in light T-Rex mode. He could shoot Little Deadpool for what's likely Little Deadpool Frenzy, 100k per switch hit, which is good points.
And you said Sauron team up. What
Yeah.
does that give you? So just having played Sauron,
It's like
gets you-
another, it's like the second version of doing all the battle modes
Okay.
again.
Okay,
And
so,
it creates more shots you have to hit.
so he was at 75. He's played mech suit already.
Right.
Right.
Just the L left in pool.
Oh, and he's definitely aiming for you, right, Tracy? Ah, down the right side. But, I mean, Jason Zoller got a little deeper in the game than certainly most games in this tournament have, where you're going for things a second time. You know, usually people are just happy to get through those 4 multi-balls, Mech Suit, Disco, Little Deadpool, Ninja. And he was going Sauron and then even to the next ones. And Bowen, okay, so Bowen's completed Sabretooth. He's started Mystique, but not completed Mystique. And he has his Chimichanga arrows lit around the playfield, which means he can play a mode like T-Rex or Megalodon, which are a little higher scoring, and they have potential to be very high scoring.
So,
Yeah.
and I believe to get those, you need to get, what is it, 3 chimichangas or whatever you call it?
Yeah, enough to fill your punch card that
What-
pops on the screen.
Now that's another one where, and strategy-wise, I'm a little bit weaker on this one, but if I have one of those modes ready, I will choose that over the top 3 modes. Like I'm not sure if is it better strategy to try to finish the top 3 and get to Sauron, or just the fact that those are more lucrative, it's worth going for the Chimichanga modes.
I don't think there is. I think it's just very situational to how you like to play the game and what you feel comfortable with.
Nice super skill shot.
Now, any of these modes could be stacked with multi-ball. He got the super skill shot straight to multi-ball, so he doesn't have a stacked mode. But I believe you could stack any mode with multi-ball. Is that correct?
You can if you start any of the battle modes first, and I guess also the quest modes,
Yeah.
which are the bottom 2. You can bring them in. But I don't mind playing them one at a time either. People really like stacking the modes together. Oh, he gets the out-of-ball from the mystery. But there's good points in every multi-ball if you get to the super jackpot round. The jackpots start relatively low in Deadpool, but they grow considerably to the super jackpots. And there's a super jackpot there, 3.38 million. This also, every ninja jackpot you get also builds your bonus by a lot. It increases the number of ninjas earned in bonus. And shooting top lanes for bonus multiplier is another thing people will do in multi-ball to just build up their score.
I often like doing that just to get balls out of the way. Send them up to the top lanes.
Nice live catch on that transfer
So the
there.
3 flashing shots are all jackpots, or is the right ramp a super jackpot?
The right ramp's a super jackpot.
16 weapons, a little ways to go.
And what lights super jackpot? Is it like
Just hitting enough regular ninja jackpots does. Okay, he's going top lanes. So that just doubled his bonus there. And Bowen is doing what he does. Bowen plays very deliberately with all his moves. He likes to keep balls under control. Isn't going to, jailbreak and knock all the balls into play. He's going to play with one flipper as much as he can and just keep going as long as possible in the game.
And for those of you who don't know Bowen, for the longest time, he has created an entire library of tutorials in conjunction with Papa. So if you want to learn how to play a lot of the machines, not so much the more recent Sterns, but especially machines from like the Williams-Bally era and some of the older Sterns, check out his videos, all his tutorials, all really good tutorials.
That was a rough double drain.
And it's amazing when he has one of those tutorials, like he just tells you what to do and does it. And like we'll get all the way to a wizard mode on his first game in a tutorial. Does that wrap up this round? I was not watching if all the other matches were done.
So we had Jason Zoller won that game. Jason Wercher came in second. Eric Stone came in third. On that game of Deadpool, Eric Stone. I'm putting it all in my spreadsheet so I can rerun the projections, because now it's interesting. There's 16 players left in the tournament, and anyone could be eliminated. So all the buys have run out. All the top 4 players who had a double buy are now leading each of the 4 groups, and they have game picks. But the INDISC rules is you can only pick a game once per tournament. So if you use your best 3 games right away, great, you move on to the next round, but you cannot pick those games again.
So the winners that round, first of all, you can check up all the results yourself on neverdrains.com/2023. And so if you go there, you can look at all the results. The live scoring is always there. But we basically have Neil Graff, who had won on Tron.
With a huge score, 125 million or something?
Yeah, Daniele, 111 million, came in second with 111 on Tron. Keith Elwin, we saw that. That was a high-speed game with his 2.7 million. And Escher with the 259 million on Revenge from Mars. We saw a snippet of that. So those are your, those who have that great head start. Now, just winning one game does not guarantee you moving on to the next round, because if you don't follow it up with a decent finish, you can end up with 3 people winning each one game, and only 2 of them move on. So you really need to go on, but it certainly keeps you likely out of last place in your group. And even if you don't win the round, it does put you in a much better position that you're not going to be out of it after game 2, get all the way in game 3. You still have a chance regardless of what game 2 is. You really have 2 chances to get another second or first, which will move you forward.
So of those bye players, Zach McCarthy only now has a 24% chance to move on to the next round.
Oh, because he lost his first game.
Right, and that was his pick, and he was top seed overall, so he's in that driver's seat position. Yeah. But
top seed overall and last year's champion.
Right, last year's champion. But coming in, he didn't have any, competitive games he's played today. He came in cold, right? Because it's his first game, and some of these players have played 6 games already. They're nice and warm. They're ready to go.
Yeah, but I won't count them out yet. He's got 2 games to go.
Keith really helped himself there with the win. He's up to 11% to win the tournament, according to the match play ratings and my website, pinballstatistics.com. Escher Lefkoff, 24% chance to win the tournament. That puts him in the most likely to win, ahead of Eric Stone with a 19% chance. And Eric Stone is also a former The Open champion from 2020. Jason Zoller with that big win also improves his odds a lot. He's got an 89% chance to move on to the next round and a 16% chance to win.
So I am just looking to see if we see where the rig is ending up. They are in the process of picking the next game.
And I hear Congo.
Yeah, that looks like Congo is where we're headed.
I do enjoy Congo. We don't have one locally, so I did put that on a qualifying card because it's just a joy to play it.
We're back to watching Keith Elwin's group.
The 3 world champion, former world champion group, as opposed to the others, which only have 2 in each.
Right.
We also had, like, I was just looking, 8 of the top 10 IFPA ranked players are here
Wow.
in this tournament, and many of them still in this finals.
And new IFPA rules, making this, starting off the year with a tremendously large set of Whopper points available.
Right, so this is one of 5 major championships in the sport of pinball. Of those 5, 3 are scheduled to take place this year, and this is the first of 2023. The new rules give this a dramatically outsized impact on the world rankings. Winning a major is considered the best thing you could do in the sport of pinball right now for your competitive standing.
Okay.
And of course the money and the brand new pinball machine don't hurt to go along with it, but
So Tracy, you said you don't have one of these games locally, but do you know how to play it? What would you go after, and is that what Keith is doing?
My strategy is, 1, I love the skill shot, the 25 million in the Z. And I love the fact that it's still available to you in competition mode. And then diamonds, locks, and multi-ball. Diamond hunt after, usually I can get my first lock before starting diamond hunt.
Yeah, so it takes 4 diamonds to light your first lock. Then I believe it's like 5, I forget how many for second and third, but yeah, with all the diamonds lit, it seems to make sense. Go after your first lock with those diamonds, but there are several different ways to get like bulk diamonds. As you mentioned, there's diamond multi-ball, there's the gray, you could get gray, you could get Amy. The mystery award, we're in competition play, so the first mystery award will be Diamond Hunt Multi-Ball, where you can get a bunch, and then the second one is Light Lock. So when I was playing this, I was doing 4 diamonds for the first lock, Diamond Hunt to get me enough diamonds for the second lock, and Light Lock to get me my third one. So pretty quickly you can get into multi-ball when you've got the tournament settings. This is a strange thing that without tournament settings, you can't trust that strategy because you don't know what the mystery awards are, because they truly are mystery.
true. And Jim, well, you also have the option to go for gray for the next multi-ball, which makes that second multi-ball a little closer to get to than the first one was.
That's right. If you use gray as your way to get diamonds, because the first one gives you 5 diamonds.
So Jim needs 1 more diamond to light his lock, I think.
Can you stack the locks? Can you get all the diamonds and lock
No.
3?
No.
You have to. Yeah, it doesn't help you to get them. Get more diamonds when you have a lock lit if you're trying to go for multi-ball.
And in fact, I find that to be a waste. If you get something like the gray diamonds or the Amy diamond and your lock was lit when you did that, it seems like a waste because they don't add to the next lock.
Right, so if you block 2 balls and you get your multi-ball from gray, you also lose all your progress. So it is really important to be aware of how many diamonds you have left and what path you want to take to multi-ball. So this is Diamond Hunt multi-ball, as Dave pointed to. You get 2 diamonds for starting the multi-ball, and then I believe it's 2 diamonds per shot.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And you almost always come out of Diamond Hunt multi-ball with a lock lit. So Jim took this on purpose after scoring his first lock, and Keith Elwin was aiming for the mystery scoop and drained on his first ball. So players playing the same strategic choices.
And he did get the lock. We didn't really see it because so quickly as diamond multi-ball entered, he hit that left orbit, which I think he was going for a diamond, but since the other ball drained, it gave him the lock instead.
And this gives him his third lock here. So he got gray for his third ball lock, starting multi-ball.
Your jackpots are either ramp, or you can get a super jackpot if you shoot the ball to the left orbit, and as it comes back to the upper flipper, you shoot. I'm not sure what that like U-turn the mine shaft shot is actually called, but
Did not know about that jackpot.
So Jim's had 6 jackpots so far, all from the left ramp. 7th there. Jim is playing a very on-the-fly multi-ball here too. He's not getting fancy with holding the flipper up and passing the ball over. He's just taking all the jackpots and points, keeping all the balls alive. Now he's down to 2 balls now. And nope, still keeping all the balls in play. Gets a super jackpot for 53 million. And 1 for the road.
And now,
Oh,
rinse
that-
and repeat, just back into multi-ball, or would you go for something else once you've completed that?
I'm looking the same way Jim was looking at why that ball bounced weird off the top of that sling. It's just so sensitive. It fired and stopped the momentum. But
I think it hit the slingshot a little bit lower than you probably expected.
yeah. But to answer your question, I think after your first multi-ball, almost everyone's going to go right to gray and just get a second multi-ball right away.
So this is a pre-ball launch ritual that Andre will go through on every ball. Check the alignment of the flippers. Whether or not for me, it's like, okay, that's something like that doesn't work, but he's such a great player. Whatever works for you. If you've got your pre-ball rituals, doesn't matter what it is. If it works for you, use it.
Right.
There's nothing that stops you, and if it makes you unique, great. Oh, that did not. He's lucky at the ball saver there,
Yeah.
but that usually bounces nicely on the left flipper.
He took a big bounce off the top of that right sling, and it bounced so far it went out the right alley, just off the bottom of the skill shot targets.
Yeah, he just never had control in that. Never got started.
So Travis, once again, is coming up as player 4. And let's see, starting with 0 points, you're looking for a first in this position. Just getting, you see the 81 million, you see the 32 million, but you've seen that Jim got 570 million, and you have to keep pace with him at the very least.
But he's also coming up and looking at scores and saying that's achievable.
Right.
He's put $1 billion, $2 billion on this. He knows that that's achievable, as opposed to sometimes it's like you come up and a player has already twice or 3 times the highest score of the tournament on ball 1.
Right.
That's where it's a little bit more discouraging. This is probably an encouraging set of scores for him to walk up to. Yeah, and probably not even as high as he would have expected, even for the highest one.
Right, because he's almost caught himself up to second.
There's 1 lock.
So, if he gets diamonds here, this is where you can almost be your own enemy on Congo. The ball didn't catch in the lock, so his lock is still lit. And he had enough diamonds to light 2 locks, but he hasn't scored any yet.
I think it did lock the first one.
It played the
no, it
animation,
didn't.
but it didn't catch the ball, so it keeps the lock light lit and it plays the animation again.
Oh.
It's a very weird trick the game does.
I've seen it actually lock the ball sometimes. And maybe it's as how far it went. If it goes up there and falls in the top lanes, it does give you the lock.
But if the insert stays on, then you didn't get the lock.
You're right. The insert would have gone off.
But he can do the same as the other players and go for diamond hunt for his second one, which I think he will here. He's going for a backhand to it.
Or he's going for gray.
Wow, he goes for
Oh,
map. We were both wrong, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he passed for a diamond hunt too. So all three of us were wrong.
Well, actually, I have heard of some players playing map strategy,
Yeah.
which I guess if you just keep going after map, that there are some point. I know there's the jungle multi-ball that you'll get to. There's skill fire, which is so there are some valuable modes there too. But is it enough to basically keep up to those game multi-ball? But it looks like he's doing a combination of both.
Yeah, he's just taking what he likes on the playfield right now. And this could be, so he's got the 2 locks now. This could be a time to get your diamond hunt multi-ball as well. Doesn't really matter if you get it for lock 2 or 3.
In fact, what's nice if you do it for lock 3 is you still have your light lock as the next mystery for the next multi-ball.
Or he could just go gray here and get a multi-ball that way and then use diamond hunt for the next multi-ball. Travis is having quite a bit of trouble with the plunge.
There it is.
Yep. In fact, we've seen some players just handling that very easily, and that Travis is just not really dialed in on it yet. But hey, take diamond hunt multi-ball when you have it.
This is sometimes also a good mode to get a little bit of feel for some of the shots.
Yeah.
You want to get at least like the 3 shots to light your lock, but that's really the most value is lighting the lock, at least in my opinion. If it's a chance to try out, hey, I'm having trouble with a particular shot, you could also use this multi-ball to, because it still gives you the awards if you hit the shots. It's only 2 balls, and if you miss a shot, you still have 1 left over.
And Travis has gotten a bunch of diamonds out of this right now.
Now, the question is, has anyone ever made it all the way to Super Multi-Ball in this?
Well,
How many diamonds does that require?
100 total in your game. Now, this is only his ball 1, so he's not there yet, but he's making progress.
But that would be 50 in that mode.
Right.
And
50
probably
shots.
a little less, because he started with about 10. Maybe he'll demonstrate it. I wish there was a count on how many diamonds you've actually collected in that particular mode.
Yeah, it shows you for the total, but it's hard to see how many he has now.
If this is one of the new Sterns, it would probably be a Diamond Hunt champion.
It would probably be part of the UI, and yeah.
And we would know what that answer is.
37 diamonds. 67 total.
Travis trained a lot like Steven Bowden did on the last group we just watched. It came out of the pop bumpers and it hit the left flipper, but either people aren't flipping that flipper at the right time or they're not nudging quite enough to get it over. It was just interesting to see almost the same train from 2 different players. He's going for the short plunge. Very short plunge. Oh, and going for Diamond Hunt multi-ball right away.
So, Tracy, I don't think you were in the booth yet, but we watched this game. It was a previous round, right?
Right.
Where they were doing this skill shot, the gray skill shot. Have you seen them to do that gray skill shot?
No.
'Cause we haven't seen it yet in this one.
What is the method?
You basically hit 1 gray shot, let the ball drain. Hit 1 gray shot, let the ball drain, and apparently it keeps giving it back to you.
You can do it 8 times and get multi-ball without validating the playfield.
That is impressive. So you're going to need a short plunge so that you haven't hit any switches.
4 times he backhanded that ball halfway up the ramp, came back to the flipper, refired it, just did not want to go up that ramp. That was very funny. All right, he's exhausted his non-diverting jackpot ramps. Oh, he's into video mode already. So there's no strategy. He's getting incredibly lucky. So getting all the point awards, finally runs into Sasquatch, or maybe, I guess it's I don't know I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if that's a character.
I don't know about Sasquatch, but there's a movie called Bigfoot, which was filmed. It's like a B movie, one of the worst, best movies, filmed in a park right next door to us, which is so funny to see it because it's like, it's just not right. But we come from Sasquatch territory up in Seattle.
Now, how many locks did Keith get on ball 1?
Just one, so this is his second. And he puts his hands in his pockets. I don't know. Wow. Nice ricochet there. And he can get diamonds out of this, which he does. That lights his third lock. And this is the pre-multi-ball music with the synth choir singing. This game has great music. Very percussive and driving.
His hands look cold.
Yeah, he's like a ball player
out.
coughing into his hand to warm him up. So Keith looks like he's going to be playing a lot more controlled in this multi-ball than Jim was. Oh no, out of it already.
And that's unfortunately though, sometimes when you try and get control, you actually end up losing one of your ball, and that's one of the arguments. You play controlled or not.
Right.
I've often seen, once you get control, yeah, you might be able to like keep going longer, but is it all necessarily the best case?
So now, 4 gray shots will bring him to his next multi-ball. Mystery will, I don't know what the second mystery award is. It may be
light lock.
Light lock, okay. He could try to get another, I guess, I don't know how you call it, like a multi-ball the hard way, but with the diamonds, or the gray kind of shortcut way. Or he could go for another strategy like map or finish his video mode. That looked like he took a shot at the ramp. Seems like he was a little confused on what the flipper was doing. Okay, he's going for map, and Jungle Jackpot is coming up for him.
That's interesting that he did it twice in a row where he did map then gray. He didn't go straight for gray. And, well, that time he went straight for gray, so I'm not sure what he was doing, unless part of the diversion, remember we have that question, when does it start diverting during your multi-ball?
Right.
Unless if you start the map at a certain area, it diverts more or less depending on the starting point of your map. I don't know.
So this is a multi-ball now. And his jackpot value will be slightly lower because between his last multi-ball finishing and this multi-ball starting, he did not earn as many diamonds as he had for the first multi-ball. But wow, right away, shoots. I thought he went for the super jackpot, but it's not lit yet. This is the control he wanted last multi-ball, and wow, pays the price.
Yeah, he's asking himself what he did there. It's like, wait, this is not the Keith I know.
79 diamonds collected, wow. And his map progress, okay, Jungle Jackpot is now the award. Uh-oh, slingshots, and this is gonna count down pretty soon.
Well, that was...
He really wants to shoot the map hole. There, wow, off the slingshot.
Nice ricochet.
Sometimes slingshots are helpful.
Ghost Tribe multi-ball.
Yep, so the only jackpot that's lit is the poll value that he just locked in.
Well, no, the mystery is also lit.
All right. But the value is based on that hurry up that went down to 23 million before he locked it in. So he just got that one jackpot thing. So Keith is showing us how to start a lot of multi-balls, but not how to...
How to cash in.
Yeah, cash in. 20 diamonds away from super multi-ball, or 21 diamonds away.
I hope we get to
So
see it.
isn't the next grade like 15 diamonds or
Yes,
something?
it would be a
like
lot.
that? And that will help him get a few more.
But the fact that he's going for map this much makes me think he really wants skill fire. Wow, Ricochet is in the video mode again. This could be, this could be more diamonds, I was gonna say, but instead it was that creature.
Saw a little smirk on his face. And
So if he gets, Amy here can also give him diamonds if he completes it.
Right. 2 more shots to Amy.
And this is also one where you can like double your Amy score if you hit that mine shot instead of the lock shot.
So he's very close. So map here. It's a little early on the map shot. He's got a lock lit, takes it. But these are very likely to be cashed out at a super multi-ball, which is coming up at 100 diamonds.
What lights video mode?
That's a good question. Maybe those side target shots? I don't know.
And where do you, oh, it looks like the mystery shot is the video mode.
Yeah.
Video mode is not worth that many points. It's just a nice break.
That's apparently 71 million points if you're from New Jersey.
Yeah. All right, he has lit skill fire. This is one of the most valuable modes, and this is a skill Keith has is knowing where to plunge the ball. Like this one he seems to be dialed in on just this full plunge is going to hit the middle target. So every time it's lit, he's going to get the timing exactly right. Oh, that one was a little low. Goes another there.
How long does he have for this?
You have a timer. I don't know exactly how long you have though. It's counting down now.
And Tracy, you like the left out lane, like that super skill shot? It scores double the skill shot value if you do get the. We saw one last round, which was 100 million.
Nice.
In the left out lane for one skill shot.
Probably a lot slower though. I think he probably got more being quicker at the plunge.
Yeah, that seems like the compromise you'd be making. Although in theory, if you know how to line it up quickly and you can let the balls go as fast as they're fed, you could potentially do it as fast, but can you be as accurate? So what are we, 1 diamond away? Yep.
There we go. Now, when the gorilla is not disabled, this multi-ball is really annoying because all you do is flip the flippers over and over again to complete your Congo letters. Now with the gorilla disabled, it's a lot more skillful. You have to shoot your shots to get your jackpots.
What are the jackpots here?
I don't know what sets their value.
Shoot ramps and ejects according to the display.
All right, so the combines both the jungle jackpot multi-ball and the regular multi-ball. Only 10 million? Yeah, this is sad. This is why the girl is disabled though, because completing the Congo letters during this multi-ball, which is active the entire time multiple balls are in play, is 50 million. So, oh, he might do the little pass thing. Oh, he tried it, didn't get enough on the tip pass. 1.7 billion, that's a good score on Congo.
Okay. He was going for map again, but what comes after skill fire? I've never seen
You
anyone
loop
go.
back around on the map again, so you
So
could
you're
get
back
all
to
the way
20
back to
back
skill
to
fire.
25 million. So,
Yeah.
So skill fire is the last one you do.
I think it is the last one, and you go
Okay.
back. I'm not a Congo expert. I've played it a lot, but not for many years. And it's a game, you've probably noticed this, that it's like we're talking about what's happening next, because what you do on the path of the game is determines kind of what comes next. Which multi-ball you start blocks the other one, and this does other things. So it's a game about choosing kind of your pathway through it and how you're going to get points. There's always something to get to, but the way you get there is interesting. There's not one consensus strategy on this game. So Keith had quite a long ball there, and I kind of forgot where Jim was at.
Well, I suspect at this point he's had one multi-ball because this looks like progress towards the second one.
And he's likely completed gray one, so completing gray again will start a multi-ball. So Jim is taking some time here to think. I can never tell from his expression what he's planning, what he's thinking about.
A very calm expression on his face.
Yeah. Oh, he was thinking about not that.
Yeah.
So Andre, who never really got going, he was making some big moves, almost a little too big for the game, that didn't really get him comfy. He's been looking around and jumping around, and I know when Andre gets dialed in, he's so good.
Let's go.
But the process of getting there, oh, there's a flipper stuck up.
Let's go.
So if maybe Carl can hear us. Carl, there's a flipper stuck on Congo. And okay, Bob Matthews is heading over, his tournament director, to take a look at the stuck flipper. And we will take a bit of a break here to take a look at what's going on in this game. So obviously, if the players can't play the game, if the flipper is binding a little bit, and Andre clearly demonstrated that the flipper was stuck. It was in the up position and he walked away. Wasn't his doing.
Sometimes it's also just the button that kind of like didn't come out. And what I've seen like the Sharps do in the IFPA tournaments is they're going to flip it like 50 times, and if it doesn't stick once, play on.
So Bob, so because Jim's playing in this group, Bob or Carl as tournament directors will step in to make a decision on what will happen here. But players were reacting to the right flipper earlier in the game. They're kind of looking at it like, did that just do something weird? And It did for Andre. It just got stuck in the up position.
Well, it looks like Bob's taking a picture of the scores, which implies to me they're going to probably open up the machine and take a look.
Yeah. I don't think he has to flip it any times because he was able to demonstrate to the TD that the flipper was stuck.
Yeah.
So we actually have results from Group 4, which is Escher Lefkoff's group. He is now through to the semifinal round. He won on Revenge from Mars. We saw the end of that. And he took first with 523 million on World Cup Soccer. Kaylee George is in second in that group with 4 points. And Tim Hansen and Jared August are tied with 1 point each on those games. So Carl's pointing to me because we're going to go to this camera. And we're going to take a look at Congo for a little bit.
They didn't want us to see the insides of the machine, all the little secrets and the magnets that they have in there.
Right, all the live tech secrets of INDISC will not be shown. But so we're back here at the quarterfinal round of the Open 2023 World Championships here in Riverside, California at the Riverside Convention Center. I'm Tim Sexton.
Tracy Lindbergh.
And Dave Stewart.
And we may have a chance to talk about, well, the rigs moving, I don't know.
Your origin
Talk about how
story.
I got into pinball. There was people have been on the edge of their seats.
When and how? Because I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there that are always wondering, how do the people who are heavily involved, where did they get started? And what we'll hear is anyone you ask has a different story. So what's yours?
So I started much later than Mr. Dave Stewart. I was not playing pinball at 2 years old. I was not playing at 3 years old. No, in fact, it was not till I was 20 years old that I played at a place called the Pinball Gallery, which was in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Had about 30 machines there at the time, and I just went there with my friends, and I noticed on the wall there was like, oh, league results. So I took a look, and I was like, oh, a pinball league, like a bowling league. That kind of makes sense. Let me go online and check this out. And I joined the Downingtown Summer League and found myself a few months later in the city of Pittsburgh, and I had heard about this big tournament that happened in Pittsburgh every year. And you know, I just had this trip planned in August, and I looked, and on the same days as my trip to Pittsburgh, I had, oh, the Papa World Championships are in town. They only happen once a year. Let's go check this out. Walked to the Papa facility, 450 pinball machines or something there, or however many they had, and I was just blown away. Got to see the Papa 16 championships. I played in C division, so that was my very first one. I got smoked. I think I came in like last in all 3 classics, but I was just having a great time. I was like, let's get into pinball. Let's just go all the way into it. And then from there on, I just kept doing what I could. I was in college at the time, graduated, moved up to New York, played in some of the leagues I could. Up in Syracuse when I lived in Binghamton. Then I moved over to Poughkeepsie. I played in Orange County, New York, as well as the Sanctum in Meriden, Connecticut, in the New England League. And then after a few years of playing and traveling a bit more, and you know, I was working, I had a little bit more money and time to go on weekends and play in some tournaments. Then started talking to Zach Sharp at a tournament, the 24-hour battle, and then he asked for my resume to see if I was interested in working at Stern, and I handed it to him. And then was talking to Keith Elwin when I heard that they were maybe going to reach out to me soon, and he's like, yeah, well, here's kind of the lowdown. Keith had been at Stern for a year at that point. Zach had been there for about a year. And Stern was in the process of hiring some players, and they looked at the pinball community to figure, hey, if we're going to get a next generation of people, they're probably going to come from the people who really enjoy this thing. And I had a skill set that worked. I was a computer science. I have a computer science degree from Penn State. I was working at IBM in firmware engineering group, they called it there, and I was looking for something else to do and took the job offer they gave me and moved out to Chicago, where I've been for 5 years. And I've continued to play in tournaments. I came here, obviously, to play in the tournaments, and then I get to work on the games during the week. So I had to adjust my life a little bit. I can't play every single night anymore. I would totally burn myself out. But I make room in my schedule to focus on the big tournaments like the Open here, and I plan to go overseas to Germany this summer for the IFPA World Pinball Championship. So we are going to cut back to ourselves because the rig is
Not at the
being
right place.
positioned by someone else over Congo, and Carl making his jog behind us on the camera over to adjust the rig back onto Congo, where the flipper has hopefully been repaired and the game can resume as it was.
Well, so won't have time to get into it now because I think we're switching. But while I started playing at 2, I was also in college. My first ever competition, which was showing up at Papa. There's a little bit of a story.
Oh, cool.
A little bit of a story there that to share some of the history of how things might have gotten started. So. Okay, with a totally fresh flipper that works.
Yep, and the scores are unchanged. Nothing, the game was repaired, and
Yeah, Jim is one of the masters at repairing machines live.
Someone's not dead until they're completely dead. Here it comes. The same hieroglyphics over.
so this is currently the last game being played of the game 2s.
Okay, Andre got his first shot. He's on his way. Sometimes that's all what you need is just to get that first shot under your belt. And I'm predicting. Whoa! I was about to predict a long ball, but I had seen some players do that bounce pass. When I played this machine, I was always doing the live catch because that bounce pass looked a little bit iffy, and right there proved that there is risk associated with it.
Sometimes when you're playing in qualifying, the game's being played constantly. It doesn't have a chance to rest, and it actually affects the temperature of coils and things like that. So feeds change considerably when the game is, breathing here between rounds and cooling off.
Ball 3 locked.
Well, this is a good feeling. You start your ball, you were one shot away from multi-ball, and you get it. A little chance to relax a little bit because you have some insurance.
And that ball's gone, but you don't need it to keep hitting jackpots.
It gets in the way half the time,
Wow,
the third
that's
ball.
a big jackpot value, 43.5 million. Oh no. Oh, he did get one in Grace Period. That's good points.
Nice how he got his kickback with there.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Haven't seen that happen yet. Okay. The lights didn't turn on until after it kicked the ball out of the scoop. I was like, is the lock really lit? It is. Travis did not take a shot at the ball. I think he's going for the map strategy now. He knows he has to win. That lights his jungle jackpot round. He has to get it back in the scoop there.
You could shoot the ramp to transfer it, I believe.
Nice.
Uses a little bit of time, but take the time to get the shot. It's worth it.
He almost has it at max value. It's 33 million every time he goes back into a saucer.
I haven't got a chance to try it, but if you can get like the flippers, like this, see if he shoots the mystery. No, I was wondering if you'd be able to shoot the mystery and catch it coming out and shoot it right back there.
And he's got a legal, this is allowed, this is a legal ball trap. Ball falls out because he had to use the flipper, but you can hold a ball there skillfully in a multi-ball. Wow, everyone's getting great progress through these tunnels. 50 million.
Oh, he even
completes
got
it.
the last one.
Yeah.
Keith didn't get the last one in that same spot.
I think I get the snake 99% of the time there. Ah. Into the
Moved
ball.
himself into second.
Now, if Keith runs away with this game, it helps Travis at this point because player takes 8 points. It's not as hard to be that second player. But if someone like Jim or Andre wins, then Travis is really in a lot of trouble, no matter what.
Let's go.
Although Travis would rather come back on ball 3 and win
He
himself.
would, yes. Just the way the game is shaping up, Keith has a pretty big lead here, and he's kind of on his second lap through the game. Oh, finally video mode. We'll see. The 71 million happens.
Look out. That was close. Look out. Look out.
Oh no. The raft capsized. Only 51 million. That's a tricky pattern of rocks he got though.
Lock is lit.
I thought it said lock is lit.
It did.
It did.
And it didn't light his lock. I don't know. There is not as much mystery as Mystery Castle, but there's certainly a lot of mystery. It could, I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, that I cannot explain, but even if it was a malfunction, Keith very well knows it. It's a minor malfunction. They would not have done, they'd basically say play on anyway, so.
Right.
Back to maps. Was Jungle Jackpot the second or third map award?
I think it's a third one. Map Award Diamond Hunt Multi-Ball? I've
Wow.
never seen that.
This is after Skillfire.
Then it doesn't start over.
And
Someone in
with
the chat did say they were
200,
different.
200 diamonds, you can get to Super Multi-Ball again.
For 20 million each, or you think still that?
I think it's still 10 million each. Oh, that's the end of Diamond Hunt Multi-Ball.
But he did have his lock lit after that, for real.
You almost always do coming out of Diamond Hunt Multi-Ball.
Right. But you need more locks on the later or more diamonds on the later multi-balls, so not as certain. Look at those loop combos at like 20 million apiece.
20 more diamonds.
And that's the third lock. Back to multi-ball.
So while Keith is doing well, I wanted to point out that every other group, someone has 8 points. And someone is already moving on from all the other groups. And if this score is to hold the way things are, Keith would also have 8 points. I can also say that several world champions have already been eliminated from the tournament. Zach McCarthy with 0 points after 2 games. Bowen Cairns with, Bowen Cairns has not been eliminated yet. He does have 0 points after 2 games.
That was a nudge.
He can make a crazy tiebreaker, everything goes right situation.
That was a 50 million gray award. I like seeing awards that I don't normally encounter, even when I do have a good game on Congo.
There's been a lot on this game that I have seen that I've never seen before, since I haven't had a lot of time on it. I've not even remembered seeing the video mode before.
15 more to light lock. And I don't think, has Keith started satellite transfer yet? No, he's completely avoided that shot.
As you said that, he hit the satellites.
But it didn't progress him there, at least. Wow, and he gets the
that's the
direct
double.
shot.
That's
Yeah.
the double one.
Ready to lock another ball.
Well, Tracy, are you keeping track of how many diamonds he's at, so we know when the next super duper multi-ball is at?
Ooh, would it be at 200? I don't know.
That's what Tim says. But
I
the
believe
question
so,
is, what's
yeah.
he at? Are you adding every time he gets 10 plus 15 to know where we are?
I have definitely lost track. There's another 15, but he is only, now he's going to be ready for a third multi-ball?
Fourth. Well,
Fourth. Well,
I know, he's played a lot of multi-balls.
of the volcanoes. Oh.
That
was-
scared you.
That was good patience.
If we had a Tracy camera, it'd be very interesting because watching Keith dead bounce from the end of those flippers.
So the way you can learn when you can and can't do that, play one-handed. Because you have to start trusting that more often.
That is good advice that I've received before and not yet taken, so.
How else do you use up credits when you have a whole lot of credits left?
2023 is my year of working on my flipper skills. So
It's a good goal. It's a New Year's resolution, like
Yeah.
flipper skill related. Yeah.
I got to put some time in it fast though before the Women's World Championship.
What's,
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yes.
what's the next flipper skill that you want to either perfect, improve upon, or learn?
Well, I keep getting told that I should have saved a ball that was going straight down the middle, so I really need to learn to save. And I guess that's not necessarily the flipper skill, but it's the right timing to hit the machine to save a ball that's in the center.
So basically a slap save.
Yeah, and I do slap save. I think I think I let go and I give up on some of the ones that are right in the middle. And some friends keep
Did you
telling
see
me,
that?
hey, you could have saved that. That was amazing again.
That was like a one flipper slap save.
So yeah, I got to start saving stuff from the middle.
How are you on the out lanes with nudging?
Decent. Decent, not phenomenal. Better on classics. I love classic games. And was quite happy. I ended up tied for 13th in the Strikes tournament today.
Nice.
126 players, so that felt good.
Congratulations.
Got knocked out just in time to join you in the booth. My drop catches need to be more natural too. I can do them just fine, but in a stressful moment in a tournament, they go away.
They go away because you forget to use them, or they go away because you're doing them but somehow your timing is off?
They go away because I think I become more nervous in a stressful moment in a tournament, and I'm afraid to use the skill in case it goes wrong. But I am drop catching a lot more than I was before, so that's a plus, because every time I watch the top players, the drop catches happen all the time.
Well, maybe this helps. One thing to know about drop catches is slightly late is better than slightly early.
Thank you.
So if you're being nervous, you could, still try them, but and what's funny is a live catch is the opposite. A little bit early is better than a little bit late. A live catch that's a little bit late, you actually flip the ball into nowhere land.
So we've seen this whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, kind of spoilers. It just goes to Super Multi-Ball again. You just go through your map awards again. Yep.
Super multi-ball.
And Grill disabled, so this will be 10 million, I believe. Jackpots again. So our producer has a comment If you want to know why they never made a sequel to Congo, it's because you see everything in the first game. All right, he can loop this over and over again for 10 million.
Yes. Yeah, he could loop it. I can. I don't know about you, but maybe he can. But that is a very satisfying shot when
Through
you
the
get
pop
that
bumpers, yeah.
through the pop bumpers. What I don't understand on there's like a light there that says triple something, and I
Is
never
it the
know
hippo?
what you're tripling because.
Oh, it's a
the-
3x. It's
or
yeah.
3x. But what's 3x?
The
Because
hippo, right?
No, it's up the ramp.
Oh,
It's
it's
an
up the
arrow.
ramp.
Yeah.
right, but his Congo jackpot was still like 10 million, not 30. It would seem to make sense if the values were more on that right ramp, and especially when that 3x is lit. But I've never seen what's actually triple.
Wow, you got the double super score there that you were talking about, Dave.
Yeah.
Dalton says it is triple hippo bonus.
Okay, you can
That-
tell Keith is bored because he is going directly for the hardest shot in the game.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, I love that if you can get the timing on that shot.
Yeah.
It's like 150 million plus diamonds on that Amy.
So, our next exciting thing will be to see if the game rolls at 10 billion. The other groups can't play. Groups 3 and 4 cannot play the next game until this game is done because Keith has choice before they do. So Rush Premium is going on behind us with Zach McCarthy's group. And Zach's already out. He just picked it because he wants to play it. But beyond that, we're waiting for this group, and the other groups are waiting for this group.
what game are you hoping we see for game 3?
Out of the 18? Oh, wow. Maybe,
Well,
I don't know what I'm
I-
hoping to see.
I don't. Keith knows that he may want to do more picks in future rounds. He's not going to waste a pick.
This is right.
I
yeah.
could totally see him just taking fourth, get out of the way, or even taking first, but getting out of the way, deferring the pick. So who's next highest seed on this? Would that be Travis?
Or something crazy he could do is pick Alice Cooper, because that game has not been in the open qualifying.
That's actually exactly what Josh Sharp did. That's a game that got me knocked out, but not because it was Alice Cooper and I didn't know it. I just got unlucky on ball 3, but that's what Josh Sharp did. He had 8 points. He picked that Alice Cooper in order to get a practice game on it.
I would love to see that in the next game because I spent quite a bit of time learning it recently since it was in the women's bank before it was moved to the open.
Oh, good. So you can explain it to us.
I have a bit.
So Keith ends with a bit of a score, 4.287 billion. Let's see how scores looked in qualifying. Did anyone come close to that score? Congo #1 score in qualifying, 3.9 billion. So he passed 3 full days of qualifying scores just in that game and finals here.
Well, that's because nobody in qualifying was on camera. So they didn't have to demonstrate the entire game.
And again, that was so long that I've kind of forgotten where we're at.
Right. Well, we can for the sake of argument say that Keith won the game, and we have a close battle between Jim and Travis here, and Andre needs to get the game going. Those 2 players are going to move on from this group.
We could end up with an interesting 8-2-2-2 scenario.
We could.
There's the multi-ball from the Gray Award.
Three jackpots in a row for Jim. Only 14.5 million for these.
So now, see, because he went up the left orbit, you've got the super jackpot lit on that mine, which again would be double your regular jackpot value.
Jim is making great nudges in multi-ball here to keep the balls from going out the out lane.
Why did you say something?
I don't know. Because
you
it was so
jinxed him.
cool how he got it in the end lane and then the left side didn't do anything.
Oh, it didn't lock in there.
I guess the post pass. Jim, despite waiting all that time for Keith's ball, came into this very focused. He didn't spend a lot of time flipping the flippers and warming up. He kind of knew, like, okay, I know what I need to do. Hit gray, get started.
Okay, more diamonds, lock lit.
Amy done. There you go. Oh, a
That's
nice ricochet.
Yeah.
Still hasn't caught up with Travis, though.
So they're not even trying for the out lane skill shot there.
They're also not trying what we saw the other group do, which was just go gray over and over again.
Yeah.
Keith short plunged, but it didn't go well a couple of times.
Oh, that was, oh yeah, he had the chance. Oh, he has another great chance for 40 million. And he gets it at pretty high value.
I'm excited to have learned about Jungle Jackpot here. I will,
yeah, and that hurry up starts at 40 million for a while, and then it quickly counts down. But 36 million, you're very happy with that. There you go, first jackpot. So he held the flipper up and then did a little half flip to slow the ball down there to catch out, instead of going for the live catch. Whoa, air ball.
now I believe I've heard that the doorways are the same for everybody until it's completed, but
that's what I thought.
But that looked the same again.
Yeah, well, well, I thought it was the same for every player, but it seemed like Keith didn't have the left door being the 50 million. So
it's another mystery of Congo. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Okay, so where are the diamonds now? There's only one lit. He just left the second ball.
Well, there's always Amy around anytime he completes the lanes. There's always the gray award. So there's diamonds in bunches.
does the map shot light a diamond if it's not lit? I'm not sure if it.
Oh.
Or is it you have to collect, because you don't end up with no diamonds.
There will always be one diamond on the playfield.
Yeah.
That's a good save.
So what are we?
Perfect.
And there's more diamonds right there.
That starts super multi-ball.
Oh.
Well, Jim has definitely cashed in on his multi-balls more than others so far. See if he can do the same here.
I think him playing on the fly like this, because the jackpot scoring is so low, you're going to get extra points out of the hippo and the pop bumpers and stuff that probably makes the efficiency on this multi-ball a lot higher than what Keith was doing. But there's a big window in the middle of the playfield with a gorilla holding a ball and the words Congo. And normally, when you play this game on location, you can use the flippers sometimes to rock it back and forth and knock the ball into targets. That is disabled because it's really boring and it makes this multi-ball really overpowered in the game.
Well, he didn't catch Keith, but he did create some space.
Yeah, if someone catches Keith here, then we're gonna have an amazing show.
But I'm sure Andre's first goal, not knowing what Travis will end up, his first goal is at 1.4 to try and catch Jim.
Guarantee a
And
point.
he would with 2 points, he would definitely love to go in with a third point. That 1 point could be big if he can get it.
Yeah, our most likely results here are either 8-3-2-1 or 8-2-2-2, which, you know, even if Andre passes Travis, but he can't come and beat Keith, then it's still any of the other players have a chance to move on.
Yeah.
Looks like he's working out a plan.
I can't do it. $5 million.
Yeah, his plan looks like it's gray all day. So with one more gray shot, he'll light his next lock. Give him the diamonds.
Let's go.
And you can, I mean, in one multi-ball, especially your first multi-ball with your very high jackpots, you can catch up. There's no limit to the number of jackpots you can shoot. It doesn't change anything besides the diverter in the multi-ball.
Diamonds, 20 diamonds. But you just need 5 to light the lock at this point, right?
Right. So that's why you can't stack the locks, because then you just immediately have all of them lit.
I'd be okay with that.
And see, that kind of, you know, that was diamonds he could have used for his third lock that he won't be able to use. Wow.
Oh.
Satellite shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was shooting at that point.
Can you backhand Gray? Was he
Uh,
perhaps trying to do that?
I don't know.
On a roll, maybe.
You could, from the left flipper, sneak it into the mine shaft. I've seen that happen, but that's like a really hard shot, but I'm not sure what value that would have brought in. And yeah,
So Travis is now guaranteed a point. So is Jim.
Let's go.
So we're going to have basically, yeah, a game 3 of this group. Keith will be, you know, Travis could still come back. Keith has at least 6 points. And even if Travis comes back and wins, he'd have 4. Keith would still be pretty far ahead and in good position. So he's pretty comfortable right now.
85 diamonds. Only 15 more to go there.
Yeah, but now I'm kind of sad because Super Multi-Ball is so little points. it's almost like you get there to get it out of the way.
yeah, but you get there and do it twice.
And that's his diamonds.
Ah, that would be mine.
That's funny. He looked. He needed 15 diamonds.
Yeah.
He got
It would be a grind, but we can keep it alive.
Yeah, but you'd knowing how little, you know, he didn't have that much to catch. Well, I guess 700. It's still a little bit, but you'd much rather be in multi-ball grinding than in single-ball play grinding.
Yeah.
$5 million.
Travis was going for control there.
Oh.
No, 2 balls out the right. Oh, and these shots are not landing where he wants them to. There they go.
Stay on the frame.
So Travis, like, I think the Super multi-ball kills your lock progress for your regular multi-ball.
Yeah, I noticed because he got 15 diamonds, but he does not have a lit lock.
Good shot. Wow, you're very quick. Mystery is quick.
But has he played his skill fire yet? Is that what he's going for?
I don't think so.
That he could pass Jim on a skill fire.
You have done well.
It goes his way. And he's pretty far through his map award. Oh wow, it bounced really high. Took a danger. Skillfire's next. Oh, I don't know why he shot that. He could have shot the map ramp to divert it around.
Yeah, and he's been hitting the ramp pretty consistently.
Oh, satellites almost killed him too.
There we go. So he hasn't hit any of them yet. Oh, and he missed the one where it's all lit. He's like out of phase with the skill fire. Oh my gosh. Travis is not dialed in. It's a little early again. He has not hit a skill fire shot yet. Oh,
I have to say, actually, that's pretty impressive.
I have never seen this. He has missed every skill fire shot, and he's going to take a walk.
It's not good for his score, but that was mighty impressive.
If there was an award for that.
Yeah.
And with this game, the light is the state. Like, if it's off the light, there's no grace period. So it's as soon as that light's lit, and he was hitting the target like a frame before the light came on. Huh. He's going to watch this back and watch me criticizing him, too. And he's going to go, yep, yeah. But hey, it's like, it's ball one all over again, you know? You're like back to the beginning. Oh, that's the 3X, Dave. It's the 3X hippo bonus.
Amy can add up fast.
That was a nice nudge. Oh.
I don't think he has enough.
He doesn't. So Jim now takes second, puts him at 3 points. Andre stays at 2 points, and Travis will have 1 point, ending that game. So Keith Elwin, 8 points through to the semifinals. And in all the other groups, the only player who's been eliminated is Zach McCarthy. Let me think. Has he been eliminated? No, Zach still has a chance. If Neil gets second and he gets first, he can still make it to a tiebreaker. So nobody has been eliminated yet, but we know Neil Graff is through to the finals, or semifinals. Jason Zoller's through to the semifinals. Keith Elwin is through to the semifinals, and Escher Lefkoff are through to the semifinals. So those 4 players, plus 4 more who will join them from these next games and tiebreakers. And let me update my notes here. So Travis gets a point out of that. Andre stays at 2, and Jim Belcito is up to 3 points. Jim Belcito is the man who can do it all. He can play in the finals. He can run this entire tournament, tournament director, tech, repairing all these games and stuff. He's been quite impressive on the floor here, just keeping it all under control.
Although, when you talk about repairing games, though, I have to say, I have seen very few machines out of order compared to most tournaments, like where there's always someone repairing something. And, they've got a lot of use this weekend. And how often, occasionally, I think it was Bad Girls that was down at one point, but very seldom were machines down for more than like a minute. And that was very few and far between. So
yeah, the tech crew was quick to show up at a machine, solve a problem. Iron Maiden got opened up quite a lot, but it was solved really quickly. Prospector was down for a few hours, and they worked so diligently to get it back, and I know the women really appreciated getting that back into the.
Did you hear the story of Bad Girls? Jim drove across town to a storage unit to get a board out of one of his other games. Came back here, installed it in Bad Girls, and kept the game going with 110 scores already entered on it early on Friday.
That's fantastic.
That's like the kind of dedication. So he's done that. He's driving all across California, across town. I'm not talking about Riverside. He must have driven down to maybe an hour away to get to his storage facility. I have no idea where it is, but he got a board out of storage, put it back in the game, got it all working again. Just happened to be that incredibly rare board that he needed for the game.
His dedication to
Yeah.
making this one of the best tournaments of the year.
And Dave, you had a story for us
Oh.
about Papa, I think.
Oh, yeah. So this is before I knew anything about leagues and tournaments. And as I've since found out, at the time, there were only two that existed. There was a Chicago league called IFPA. There was a Broadway arcade league called Papa. And Steve Epstein started running the World Championship. Oh, we're going to Twister. So
Twister.
I don't know if I'll have time to finish this story, but let me try and. And I was at Carnegie Mellon. I was basically, talk about firmware engineer. So it's what I basically do, but I resisted mixing my, my work with my hobby passion. So that's a story that we'll have to wait for another time because we want to watch the game and don't want to hear me talking when the game's going on.
It looks like Travis picked this.
So Keith did defer as opposed to selecting Alice Cooper.
So I have played Twister all of once, and it was at a previous INDISC, and so I look forward to learning the rules as we go along.
Well, Tracy, if you know how to shoot orbits, you know how to play this game.
Yeah, I don't know much about this game. There used to be one in Maryland way back when I was with the Free State Pinball Association. I don't remember that at all at this point. But what I do know is at least here the strategy was Cal multi-ball, which is orbits, and then when you're in Cal multi-ball, shoot orbits.
Yes. Players may never shoot the ramp. Players may never even shoot the lock shot. And that's really all this game has, other than some targets and the pop bumpers, which the cow shot will divert it into them. But yeah, a lot of the game is about just getting control after it comes out of the pop bumpers, and that's the biggest challenge for the players is just when you're going to play the cow strategy, it's always going to be out of control from the pop bumpers. And how do you get the ball back to a flipper so you can make an orbit shot? So looking at odds to advance out of this group, Travis Muri, 14% chance to advance. We have, looking for the next player, Andre Masikoff, 32%, Jim Belcito, 55%. So odds split. That may not round up to 100%, but you know, it's close. Off by one or two.
So how many orbits does it take to get to cow multi-ball?
9.
9 orbits.
Yes.
And that is the best strategy.
Oh yeah, because
lot of shots.
the jackpots get well over 100 million deep into cow multi-ball. And also when you, as Jim Drain's out here, going up to the orbits, you get bonus X and you get pop-up birds, which are like the only points in the game. So it just kind of gives you everything. There's this skill shot here for 30 million that almost everyone will pass on to get the ball to a flipper.
Even if they don't pass on it, does anyone actually ever succeed at that skill shot, which is to try and hit the magnet in the middle of that spinning disc? And for 30 million, considering scores are often like in the billion here, 30 million is really not as much as it might seem.
Right. Also, cow multi-ball puts 6 balls into play. Creates a lot of chaos. And then players often just try to trap up as many as they can. So it's interesting. Oh, Andre was going for the middle shot, and there is really no grace period on Sega's, so ball is not coming back.
Yeah, that is another multi-ball, which is there's a drop target, basically knock down the drop target, lock ball, do that I think 3 times to get a 3-ball multi-ball.
Yeah, and it gives you the same speech callouts every time you do it.
I'm looking for the drop target.
No, it's hidden behind
right there?
that
Okay.
wire ramp.
So he's got neither orbit lit for Cal, or is that because he hasn't done this?
The skill shot is hiding the lamp, but it's only the left orbit. It's every game it starts at the left orbit, for every ball. The pop bumpers alternate it. And look, 2x bonus here and a lot of points. So coming off, so he's made 1 shot so far this game. Let's see what his score is when we get the chance. Oh, still showing us this. See, he's already at 50 million just by making 1 shot because of the pop bumpers being the most valuable scoring feature in this game normally. It's just an odd rule set that makes that happen. Shooting the in lane will change which orbit is lit for Cal.
All that trouble with flipper pass
Yeah.
and then it switches on him.
He has those nice steep Sega flippers, makes it kind of easy to catch when the ball's rolling up and in lane. And one of the most challenging feeds, and this is the way that they adjust the games here, so players can't do the same thing over and over again. Coming out of that right orbit, there's almost no way to get it from hitting the top of the slingshot, and players are going to have to nudge the game to get control of the ball.
So it didn't look like much progress. Nobody made much progress on ball 1.
Yeah, but on 1 ball you can start Cal, and that's all you need. This ball's coming back.
Backhandable?
And it's not, and it looked like he went for a post pass there. It worked.
Although I was trying that during one thing, and it is backhandable, and I got 2 orbits for it, but I was only able to do it once and couldn't do it a second time. So I believe it's doable, but it's such a tight backhand shot that there's like no grace. If you're too early, it hits the post. Too late, it doesn't go through.
Travis made a really great nudge on the right side there. The outlanes are really deadly on this game.
It was a very determined nudge.
So he's getting a lot of points in his pop bumpers. Just got 20 million for blowing up that truck, which I have not seen Twister. I don't know if that's important to the plot.
It has been many years since I have seen Twister, trying to remember if a truck even blows up.
Hey, it looks cool on the screen, so whether or not it happens is... Oh. Okay, he's very close to Cal multi-ball, 2 away.
2 more. I am excited to see Cal multi-ball.
Uh-oh. Oh, nice save.
It's on the right now.
Now, the right orbit is a little smaller than the left, the actual shot. So 2 away, I mean, you know, you could do it, and then you can get back to your next Cal multi-ball. The thing I had to convince myself every time I played this game in qualifying was like, no matter how many shots away it is, you can hit them, right? If I ball 1, ball 2 were completely nothing, I was like, well, it's 9 shots. You've made 9 shots before.
Yeah. It just seems like such a far path.
It does,
though,
yeah.
Well, especially coming out of the pops, like getting control again. It's not just make a shot, make a shot, make a shot. It's make a shot, get the ball.
So the skill shot will be on forever until he hits another shot. But
If he shoots the orbit, would it give him credit or not?
it will give him credit for Cal if he shoots the left orbit. And you get points for missing this. That's funny. Skill shot missed 5 million points. That's
This
that
is-
right orbit feed. And Jim's like, I did that. I set that up, and I ruined my chances to move on in my own tournament because I was so devious in how I set up this game to come out every time to the top of that slingshot.
Although he still has one more ball, and you said it can all be done in one ball.
It can.
So
And you have to believe in yourself, especially at this level. You
But-
can't give up on yourself.
But Jim also potentially as a helper by coming in this with 3 points. If he doesn't do anything, but Keith does, he may still end up in the tiebreaker.
Right. Oh no.
Yeah, Andre is certainly having it rough.
He
a
is
lot
this
of
whole
these balls.
round. He's crossing his arms a lot on the game, which doesn't look like good body language to me. It doesn't look like he's happy when it goes out the outline. It's Keith, who seems to have very cold hands, warming him up.
that's why I have gloves in my pocket and a hand warmer in my bag.
Wow. Because we're in freezing Southern California.
Convention halls tend to be cold.
That's true. But there's great air exchange in here, by the way, as measured by CO2 monitors. Wipes off his hand as the ball's in the pop bumpers. Oh, he's going for the lock on the backhand. And he post passes on the fly.
He might be recognizing that the scores after 2 balls are not that high, get some points, and rather than going through the flipper passes, which have not been successful, if cow is not lit in that direction, go for the other multi-ball. If cow is lit, go for cow.
Right. I mean, Keith also has absolutely no need to blow it up because he's through no matter what.
That's true.
Okay, so tell me about this other multi-ball then, since it appears we may see it.
Oh, yeah. So it has
Oh,
a
this was the
really
drop
cool
target.
starting effect where it drops all the balls on the spinning disc and the magnet, and then your ramp is lit for a jackpot. And the jackpot is not as many points as any cow jackpot. So,
And that was ball 3 locked.
yeah, so one more.
Oh, it's 4, not 3?
And that hit the trough just in time.
So he's got to get the drop target down one more time, plus the low.
Yeah. Wow, he thought he made that shot the way he reacted. Oh, going for the right orbit to light his super pops. Maybe bringing in super pops with multi-ball is his plan. Super pops, there's 1 million per pop bumper, I believe.
Is it timed, or just a certain number of pops that you can get? Oh, that was a good save.
No, but he just hit 13 pops there.
No, he's got like 2 multi-balls really. One is lit, the other one is close.
Right. And he can just plunge it, and you know, you don't validate the play field on this game either until you start to hit a few switches. So Travis was very close to Cal.
I feel like 2 orbits away, maybe?
That'll come back. Oh, it was just that one.
excellent.
So cow multi-ball, all the balls will come into play. The ball save light will flash, and it has absolutely no meaning. It'll keep saying drive again or whatever it says. And no, he's at 3 balls. He's going to stay at 3 balls. None of those other balls are coming back into play. Down to 2, but you only need 2, and he wants orbits. Orbits score 47 million each, plus they give you all the good top bonus lanes and pop bumpers and stuff. And he's finally got under control, but 2 on the left flipper. I find cradle separations really tough on Sega games because you hit the slingshot a lot. That worked for him though. $63 million. He's already at 600 million.
Nice. And a grace period?
Yep, that was a 77
Nice.
million jackpot he got. And another exploding tanker truck. And it's the same number every time for Cow. It doesn't go up at all. It's probably set at the highest to start.
So he had started with 363, came out with 7 something, so about 400 million on there. So with Super Pops now, his game is just keep shooting the pops.
Yep. And we'll bring him back to Cow again.
But I'm wondering, it's like rather than flipper passing, should he just shoot the right orbit? Yeah. I guess that's what he did, and just get more Super Pops.
And that spinner gave him some good points there as well.
4x bonus.
So shooting the orbit, if the Cow is not lit on there, it moves the wind shot so it is lit. Wow, look at this Super Pops. Yeah, orbits are everything on this game. No one has made a single ramp shot on this game. And why would they?
Because ramps are cool?
But the ramp comes down to this really fast feed to the left flipper. Comes over the slingshot.
Oh, first ball locked for the other multi-ball. Six more. Oh, a ramp shot.
Yeah. And that feed, yep. Oh, that drained off of it.
That's why you don't do the ramp?
Yeah, well he tried just holding up the flipper and just right into the slingshot now.
So a solid ball, a lot of bonus.
That was a great ball.
4x bonus. Add it up.
So we said this in this group we have 3 major champions. Travis is the only one who's not a major champion. He's currently in the lead. Now, in the rules, you're not allowed to, you know, necessarily like tank, but if Keith is looking at this group and he has a chance to help Travis, you know, I don't know what Keith's mindset will be, but like you have Jim Belcito, who's won Pinburg, right, in the past, and you have Andre Matikov, who's won Papa 18. And you have Travis, who is really, this is his first time on a stage this big.
He's really up and coming.
Yeah.
You know, he's climbed the ranks really rapidly this past year.
You really have an interesting situation in the group happening here. Like, because I thought Travis was so dead after game 1, and then Congo, you know, he got it together, and now he has a chance to move through. And I was saying, what did he have? 14% chance to move on, and now he has, you know, no one passes him, he's going to move on. But if Jim can stop that, he will. He's got 6 more shots to Cal. Like I was saying earlier, he has to believe in himself. Wow, he shot a ramp. Oh no.
Yeah, that is scary.
Okay, that is very scary.
Wow.
Jim is not out. Not quite out, but he is close.
It will depend. His life or like tournament depends on what Andre and Keith do now at this point.
Right.
If Andre doesn't pass him, Keith passes Travis, I think he makes it in, or at the very least tiebreak. I think at that point, you know, he's going to be cheering for Keith. There's no doubt.
And Keith is just that one shot away from that the main multi-ball, the everyone underground now multi-ball. I'm not sure what its actual title is. There's 3 multi-balls. There is also a multi-ball by shooting the ramp over and over again.
If you can survive long enough after shooting that ramp.
Yeah.
That was pretty cruel as a feat.
Actually, Andre basically guarantees himself a point here if he shoots the skill shot. Or if he shoots one orbit.
Orbit's ready for him.
No, he's going for the lock.
Well, with how close it and how much the pop bumpers are worth points, if he wants to get ahead of Jim, it almost seems like shoot an orbit and get pop bumpers. Because if he gets second place and Keith passes Travis, that still sets him up for a tiebreaker to just get ahead of Jim, and then he also hopes for Keith to pass Travis.
This has been Andre's strategy, though, is just going for that lock, even though it's drained him quickly on the first 2 balls. Wow, he plunges it, and he will get this ball back. And you get 10 million from locking it, so one more lock shot here would put him ahead of Jim.
Oh.
And with bonus, that should be enough. Yes, that'll put him ahead. So Jim Belcito will stay at 3 points. Andre has 3 points. Travis currently would have 5 points. If it ended this way, he would go through. Now, this is kind of what I was alluding to. Keith has to play here, but if he does nothing, the non-major champion goes through his group.
Yeah, yes, but I also know Keith. From what I know, I think he's playing. He wants to win all 3.
Yeah.
You know, because that also, you know, that's his style, win. So I see him doing everything to go see this 3-way. I think it's a 3-way tiebreaker if he passes Travis.
Everybody would have 3 points.
Have you seen this, Tracy? This
No,
spins
I'm excited.
around. Wow, look at this. This is the game's whole gimmick. Woo! And then it's over. And then you have to shoot the ramp. That's all that's lit.
It's the ramp.
Yeah. He does get a little Sega ball save there. There it is. And then he's got to control it. He goes for a flip. Nice. Goes underground.
I didn't pay attention to how much that jackpot was worth.
It was 53.
Okay, so I can see why Cow.
Yeah.
Well, I think Cow at 63 wasn't that much more, but it's what you were saying
So
about
much
going up
safer.
on top with the bonus X and not pop bumpers. That's almost like what makes Cow, as opposed to like the dangerous ramp shots coming closer to the flippers.
Okay.
And he was a little early on that orbit shot. It's headed to the out lane. And that means Keith is through with 10 points, Travis with 5, and Jim and Andre tie at 3 and will not move on to the next round. Other results, we have Gabe Da Silveria. Anyone know him? I don't. I've never played with him. Advancing from Group 1. Neil Graff was already through. Jason Zoller and Jason Werdrick, 2 Jasons moving on from Group 2. Escher Lefkoff and Kaylee George from Group 4 moving on to the finals. So we've eliminated Tim Hansen, Jared August, Jim Belcito, Andre Mazenkoff, Bowen Cairns, Eric Stone, Daniele Acciari, and Zach McCarthy. So we have eliminated 6 major champions of the 9.
But that still leaves 3 out of the last 8, but that also means 5 potential new players who have not won major championships. Is that what we're counting?
That's correct. And even players who have never made it to a major Final Four, like Travis and Gabe and Jason Zoller has never made it to a major Final Four. Who else is still in? No, we got 3 major champions, yeah. So we just got an announcement from Dave.
Yep.
What's coming in?
Oh, just letting us know that our tour of duty here in the broadcast booth is about to come to an end. So you're gonna have to wait some other time. We'll have to get on the broadcast to get that story. It basically tells you how leagues got started.
Check back next year.
Next year, some other
the
time.
Open 2024, when we will finish our stories on how we got into pinball and what happened at Papa in years past as we watch the story unfold here of the Open.
Okay, well, thank you.
It was a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. I'm Dave Stewart, Monday Night Pinball. That's our Seattle League. We have 300 players every Monday. Team League. If you're looking to create a team league, take a look at our website. Look at what we do. The software is available in Git, so it's available to others. But we just enjoy it. It's part of our Seattle scene.
Tracy Lindbergh. I'll just give a shout out to all of my Arizona crew who may be watching at this time.
I'm Tim Sexton. I'm just plugging, hey, play some more pinball, go out on location. Obviously play Stern Pinball, but all pinball is good pinball for the industry, and check out my website, pinballstatistics.com.
Yeah, and these are the INDISC Open World Championships. Thanks a lot. You'll have the semifinals in just a few minutes.